Hey everyone, Brobuscus here, and welcome back to another Let's Watch of Death Battle. Today's episode, we've got the Sentry from Marvel versus Superboy-Prime from DC. Now, as I should say with all my reaction videos, there should be a link in the description below. You can go watch the actual episode yourself. Go support the official release before watching some random guy need to react to it, okay? Got it? Cool. Alright. Alright, so how do I know these characters? Well, in the lead up to this very episode, I have managed to read every comic that Sentry has appeared in, barring the last two issues of the most recent run, because that run threatens to open up some deep emotional scars that I don't want reopened, thanks. That is not on my to-do list today, or anytime soon, really. But up before this episode got announced, or really, like, the second this episode got announced at Comicpalooza, I immediately went and grabbed the list of every comic that Sentry has appeared in, and since then, I decided to read all of them, because that's just what we do here. And the Sentry is a pretty dang interesting character. I will say that much. I wish they would utilize him more, because as it stands, a lot of his appearances kind of have him just there. But when he's like the center focus, when he's the center of attention, he is fascinating. And I'm sure this episode will describe exactly why, unless you... I mean, it must have, because... It must have explained it for you already, because you have watched this episode before watching my reaction. Right? As for Superboy-Prime, good old Clark Kent, but kind of. I admit I don't know much about him. I didn't read a single comic that he appears in. I don't really mess with DC comics that much, not as much as Marvel anyway. But from everything I've been told, Superboy-Prime does seem like an interesting character. Never would have expected that from Mr. I'll kill you to death, but... You know, sometimes things work out, I guess. Apparently he's going through like a massive redemption arc currently. So he's not evil, psychotic Superman from another universe. At least, not anymore anyway. And that's kind of actually the whole theme of this match, isn't it? It's like the dark counterparts to Superman. So cool. As for what I want to win, who I think is going to win, you know how this drill works by this point. Well, if it wasn't obvious, considering I've read every Sentry comic and none of Superboy-Prime's comics, naturally I'm gonna have to say I want the Sentry to win. And just in general, I like Marvel more than DC anyway, so, yeah. Even if I hadn't read all of the Sentry's comics, I probably would have been rooting for him anyway. But do I think he's going to win? Now, that is the question, isn't it? And the answer is probably not. I kind of want to be wrong, but essentially what this boils down to is that at best, they are roughly even in stats. At worst, Superboy-Prime should be stronger. But even at worst, Sentry's regeneration should make it so that Superboy-Prime's greater strength doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The Sentry has a lot of hacks, from Maya manipulation to soul manipulation. Those last two are mostly with the Void, but I digress. Matter manipulation. I hear talk. He can like form. I say I hear talk. there's a hypothetical win condition here for Sentry is that he like forms red sun energy and depowers Superboy-Prime, which would be nice, and in any other scenario might have been the only way either of them can actually end this fight. And then you remember that Superboy-Prime can retcon multiverses with a punch. That retcon punch is kind of insane and would work. I am of the opinion that it would work extremely well on the Sentry, considering Sentry is essentially retcon the character. His whole story is that like literally his first comic run is everybody forgetting about him. And then like he was affected by House of M. He was affected by Absorbing Man with the power of the Cosmic Cube. Like the Sentry literally has anti-feats against reality warping on the level of the retcon punch. And Superboy-Prime doesn't even need to punch Sentry to retcon him. He can just punch the air, and that would be enough. Like it's not a case of like, oh, okay, so the punch can work on the Sentry, but can he dodge it? No, because Prime can just punch literally freaking nothing, and it'll retcon something. Probably Bob. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that the retcon punch can work so well on Sentry kind of means to me that he is like, even if Sentry's other hacksier abilities like mind or matter manipulation or whatnot could work, which it sounds like they probably don't, but even if they did, the fact that Superboy-Prime can win this fight by throwing a punch and not even hitting Sentry means that his win condition, even though it is the singular win condition that he's got, is more likely to happen than any of Sentry's other stuff. So I gotta side with Superboy-Prime. But we shall see, I suppose. So with that, I say we stop talking and jump right into it. Well, that was an interesting start.
Sentry versus Superboy-Prime.
These two dark supermen prove that sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Well, corrupted Superboy-Prime. Sentry is corrupted by something else.
Stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot about him, as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the reason we forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten?
To save us from himself.
Yeah.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school teen until the day he accidentally drank this
Once
super
drink a
soldier
lake
serum.
filled with
At
LSD.
that moment, Robbie was imbued with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gonna be one hell of a bowel movement. And what better way to use his new powers than to become a Sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got all your classic, I can't believe he's not Kryptonian superpowers, like super strength, speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
Do butterflies sneeze?
Nope.
No!
Well, Sentry cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make force fields.
Really, the Sentry can drop power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while holding back.
Yep.
Sentry can teleport, communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's even built his own watchtower with an advanced AI
Being compared
that is
to,
constantly monitoring the planet for threats.
Reed Richards and Tony
Jesus
Stark
Christ,
is
he's
kind of
like the Avengers
crazy.
all in one. Why do there even need to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk. Where Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed, the Sentry was the only one who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is
Ooh.
incredibly fast, too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within plank time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's stated to be as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up. The Surfer flew so fast he went back in time, so you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple.
Yeah.
The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
For every good act the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry and the Void were one and the same.
Yeah.
Plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible, with Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Yeah.
Great. Everyone knows repressing your problems always makes them better.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his
This
desire
freaking
to
guy.
somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, you know, the Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah, try controlling the kind of guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse. So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
The Sentry can create and destroy matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body from any kind of damage,
Yep.
like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Void's got all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his infinitendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He killed Loki. He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Void is one of the biggest bads in Marvel. Great fucking job, Nor.
Yeah.
I'm something of a moron myself.
The only way forward, the only way for Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. Let the Void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged and became stronger than the sum of their parts.
One being, now free to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about.
Yeah.
What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back. Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
Do you believe a man can
Sentry's
fly?
scary, man.
Yeah, Wiz, but in the pages of DC Comics, everyone in their irradiated six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth. Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent. A totally normal boy from New England who just happened to share a name with that comic book character.
Mere coincidence. That
Was
is,
it?
Until the day Clark took a leap of faith and believed he could fly.
And he did. Surprise, surprise, Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now? Anyway,
Cool.
The real Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy. Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
Brobuscus, don't jump off the... Ugh.
Ow.
Clark had all your classic Kryptonian powers. Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was the dream that every little boy had finally come true.
Oh, ow. Just in time for his universe, our universe, to be annihilated literally 1 month later in DC Comics Armageddon, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Wiz, we're canonically dead since 1986, apparently.
With everyone
Does
he
this
knew
mean
and
I
loved
canonically
gone,
don't
Clark
exist?
took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now an anachronism
Anyway.
in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't stand change, can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy, the real Superboy, Superboy-Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do. Punch really hard. He punched his way out of the dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics. Superboy was back, and he was gonna fix comic books forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from
Yeah.
before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, a time when comics were a bit more comical.
When Superman could sneeze solar systems apart or tow a galaxy of planets behind him like it was nothing.
Or clash with another Kryptonian so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity. I wonder if these writers ever imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half century. Not that I'm complaining.
Freaking
That's how I get
doubt
paid.
it, but
Prime would know
I'm not
he
complaining.
is a self-described power scaler's dream.
Huh. You think he's heard about us?
We can only hope not.
Possibly.
As a Kryptonian with an ultra-dense molecular structure, he should also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone, having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand more esoteric attacks too. They can actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy. Literally wearing the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe, just to be better and stronger than Superman.
Because that's what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats and scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was a fucking idiot. Okay, sure, he has the same hyper-efficient brain that all Kryptonians have, but when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Exactly what you'd expect from a kid who never grew up and never learned to hold back. Instead of saving Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society, Teen Titans, and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy. Even as other Kryptonians grew in power to become comparable to their pre-crisis iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his face, destroying the universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime, blasting him into the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he fought a potential future version of himself who became a god of time. And instead of teaming up, Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him home, back to his original universe, our universe. Except now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once again, forced to watch as his heroes progressed without him, he pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC.
And a little bit of Marvel.
Only to discover his worst possible nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked. Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So, naturally, he flew to DC headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta hell.
Prime had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy. Liz, you think he's the guy posting on our Reddit?
And at the peak of his violent temper tantrum, he murdered the Golden Age Superman, the original Superman. Action Comics #1, the first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. He needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized Batman who laughs threatened to destroy all of reality.
Prime was drafted to help save the day, and it turned out he was the only Superboy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics? Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time anomaly, and he slowly learned how to manipulate reality itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch!
At first, its effects were random, like bringing Jason Todd back to life or restoring Beast Boy's memories. But he started to use it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters inside of them happy endings. In a weird way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guy so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Who was powerful enough to beat Perpetua, the goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Prime hit the Darkest Knight so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
A feat that no one actually saw happen.
Oops.
Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly, and it was the first step toward becoming a true hero.
The kind of hero that Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1. A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime will truly believe in himself, just like he once believed he could fly. All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Pause. Oh boy. Okay, so they hyped up the Sentry a little bit more than I was expecting. Maybe he stands a better chance than I thought. At the end of the day, though, I still kind of think he's going to become susceptible to the retcon punch. Like, okay, the Sentry is like mind manipulation. Like, okay, the mind manipulation thing is going to be interesting to me because they said that Kryptonians can resist it by outthinking it, but the Sentry is comparable to like Reed Richards and Tony Stark in intelligence. I'm not sure how that plays out. I'm not sure how that would play out. that weird caveat aside, it seems like Superboy-Prime's got matter manipulation and soul manipulation all figured out, and he can resist both of those. I really don't think, for as much as I think Superboy-Prime could be stronger, I just don't think it's going to be I just don't think that alone is going to be enough to take down the Sentry with how busted his regeneration is. It's just, again, it's that retcon punch that's so stupid. I hate it so much, but it's kind of the only win condition I'm seeing here that either of them can pull off in a relatively easy fashion. I think personally, if the Sentry could survive that, or if he could be unaffected by that, then I would probably just say he straight up wins. But the fact that I just don't see him withstanding that means this is probably Superboy-Prime's fight to win. So I'm still gonna go with that. Maybe I'm wrong. I am open to being wrong. Let's see if I am wrong. Oh, we're just getting...
This city won't last much longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
Mess up a superhero crossover? No way, dork.
Just getting straight into it, huh?
Onomatopoeia coming right up.
You're dealing with someone who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns!
Big mistake, dipwad.
Oh.
It's prime time.
It's what?
What?
Are you kidding me? Another Dark Superman fraud? Boring! It's cool when I do it.
I can't tell if what happened earlier was meant to be foreshadowing or not.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you.
I'll kill you. To death.
Stop.
Bye-bye, Bob. It's time to play God.
Okay, that voice is insane. But also, the Void is out this fast.
Okay, you weren't joking. Definitely a crisis-level threat. Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want! If Bob couldn't escape me.
What hope do you have, boy? Afraid of the Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again, whatever happened to Lori?
Oh. Yeah, the Void's definitely a rage baiter. They've got that down.
It's over, Clark.
Oh.
There is no happy ending.
Well, Merge Sentry came out fast.
Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the Void.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Oh.
Bob? You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years.
Aw.
Crisis averted.
Okay, that was nice.
I don't think I've ever seen someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this down into 3 chapters: their strength, intelligence, and powers.
Okay.
As with any flying brick fight, the first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Prime and Sentry are naturally 2 of the heaviest hitters in DC and Marvel, more than capable of matching and surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Who are both strong enough to create and destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes. Just absolute wacky bullshit like that.
So in
Yeah.
order to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they fought: Molecule Man and the Darkest Knight.
Sentry beat the crap out of Molecule Man. But remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought Sentry, he wasn't at his full power. So we can only scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Knight after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know, Dr. Manhattan, both of which alone could threaten all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Knight was holding back. In a straight brawl, Prime takes the edge in strength. But muscles aren't everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's brawn with his intelligence.
While
Yeah, this
Prime
is
does
absolutely
possess a
his to
super
win.
advanced Kryptonian brain, he clearly does not use it to its full extent.
It's less that he's dumb and more that he's a teenager and has a habit of crashing out.
The Sentry, on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards, some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole void thing, which sucks for him, but losing control to the void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merge Sentry, he's operating at his peak, fully in control of his powers. In a test of wits and wills, the Sentry was the more intelligent.
Yep.
But the main question in this matchup had to do with their batshit insane powers.
With the Sentry's ability to reshape molecular matter and warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his powers seem much more versatile than Prime's. Prime may be stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run against someone who can regenerate from a single atom.
Yeah.
But pre-crisis Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before, and Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Sure.
Unless Prime could find a way around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime, his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your whole timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been affected by in the past.
Like the time the Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of M. Bob's continuity was rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the
Yep.
time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally describes it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However, this feat required assistance from Reed Richards, and it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
True.
Pre-crisis Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now, Prime hasn't always had the most perfect control over his retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten, or being cut off from sunlight. I guess that Edgelord solar armor came in handy after all.
In short,
There you go.
Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in powers.
With no way to easily
Fair
put
enough.
him down, Prime would eventually muscle his way through and retcon the Void away for good.
Sorry, Bob, defeat was unavoidable.
The winner is Superboy-Prime.
Oh, hey, my pizza's here.
The winner is Superboy-Prime. Letter to the editors? Oh yeah, I win. That's right. You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock and it's prime time, baby. Now, personally, that intelligence section was such a gimme. I don't crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling with real, intense emotion. I can be smart anytime I want. But anyway, don't subscribe, don't join as a member, don't watch Death Battle, read my comics. Prime out.
Next time on
Okay, didn't
Death
ask.
Battle.
What's up? This, yep. Aang versus Traveler. Had a feeling. Okay, cool. Final. About time we got to that one. All right, cool. That was a cool fight. I like that one a lot. It felt a bit on the shorter end. I felt, at least upon first viewing. Maybe when I rewatch it, I'll feel differently. But we got to the void really quickly, and then it felt like we got to merge Sentry pretty quickly. So I was like, huh, it feels like we're going a little fast here. And then all of a sudden, the Sentry lost. But I imagine a lot of this came down more so to just in general their characters, and really just the Void trying to rage bait Clark, and then Clark retconning the Void. This definitely feels more character driven than combat driven, but there was still quite a bit of combat here. So yeah, it was fun. I had a fun time. It was super well animated too. My God, that might be one of the best sprite animations on this show in a while, at least. Probably doesn't help that we don't get a whole lot of them anymore, but I digress. It was still fun. I still had a good time. And and the voice acting was phenomenal. I was not 100% sure on Philip Sacramento as Sentry when I saw the preview. Watching it in full, I'm sold. And his voice as the Void is top notch. That was fantastic. And then Sean Chiplock as Superboy-Prime was really good too. I had a good time with this one. It was a very, very good episode and a really nice return to the Marvel versus DC side of things. Cool. Sucks about the loss, but I'll deal with it. And if anything, it actually served as kind of a happy ending because Bob got to live without the Void anyway. I mean, I guess one could wonder if he really did survive, but like in canon, Sentry comics were still being written even when everybody forgot about the Sentry. So sure. I choose to believe that this is a happy ending for Bob. The Void is gone and Bob still gets to live with his wife. I choose to believe that is the ending we are dealing with here. But yeah, this was a super fun battle, and I look forward to Aang vs. Traveler. It's the last Kickstarter matchup. The last matchup that was on the Kickstarter campaign. We're finally getting it. I somehow had a feeling that would be the last one, but you know what? It's here now. You know, it's the old saying goes, "It's better late than never." But I look forward to that. I know a lot of people on the team are big fans of both, so I have faith that they will make that a fun episode. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.